If you've been struggling to attract 8s and 9s, this video is for you. I'm going to share a proven strategy men are using to date women who are better looking than they are. I first observed men using this strategy during my years as a bartender. And no, it's not about how bartenders get girls or about how to date party girls and barflies. This is about how to consistently attract the beautiful women who work in bars and restaurants, and how to do it without coming off like a creep or getting rejected like the dozen other guys who tried before you. This strategy is especially effective if you're reasonably successful, have a solid career, and carry yourself well, and here's why. Women, especially women in service jobs like bartending or waitressing, are naturally more attracted to men in a higher socioeconomic bracket. It's not about money directly, it's more about lifestyle, status, and perceived value. If she's working late nights and relying on tips, and then you walk in clearly operating on a higher level, mentally, financially, emotionally, you will instantly stand out. Back when I worked in bars throughout my early and mid 20s, I saw this dynamic play out again and again. Attractive bartenders and servers would fall for the regular customer who had his life together. But here's the catch. The guys who walked in and immediately tried to flirt or ask for a number, well, they almost always got shut down. There's a system to this, a pattern I saw over and over again, and if you follow these 5 steps, you won't just get one girl, you could end up dating several. So stick around and you'll see what I mean. And real quick, fellas, my name is KJ Harlow. I started out like a lot of guys, just getting constantly rejected and put in the friend zone. And now after thousands of approaches, hundreds of first dates, and several short and long-term relationships, here I am on YouTube sharing what I've learned with you guys. So if you find value in this content, please like and subscribe. Now let's jump into the video. All right, so the idea here is that you're going to use your elevated socioeconomic status to appeal to women who are more attractive than you are, but at a lower social status. You're playing on hypergamy, which is the idea that women are naturally more interested in men who have a higher social status or income than their own. And even if you're not a high earner, this will work for you. You'd be surprised at how women in hospitality perceive guys who work outside the industry. It's that whole thing where, people don't really consider working in a bar to be a real job. And the women who work in bars are hyper aware of this and eager to shack up with guys who do have real jobs. So even if you're not making 6 figures, don't worry. Women in hospitality tend to assume that any guy with a real job is better off than they are. And to clarify, the target location here is a local bar and restaurant where you can sit at the bar top or at a high top table and get dinner. We're not targeting nightclubs or late night establishments. Think more like your local sports bar or pub. So we have 5 steps. I'm going to walk you through them and give you the keys to properly executing each step. And with step 5, you're going to see how this system naturally starts to attract multiple women at the same time. Okay, so step 1 is to do some scouting, find a local spot where you can sit and have dinner, and then show up during slower shifts like Monday nights or right after happy hour rush, right? When the bar is slow, the girls have nothing to do but talk to customers. So don't go on a Friday night when it's packed and she's slammed. Instead, go grab dinner, have maybe 1 or 2 drinks, introduce yourself, tip well, and thank her for the great service. Be friendly, be polite, and low key. You're not there to get hammered. You're not there to flirt. You are just there to make a positive first impression and become a familiar welcome face. And the easiest way to make that initial first impression is to introduce yourself when she drops off your first drink. I actually do this everywhere I go just to create high rapport. So she drops off the drink, you ask her name, you introduce yourself, say thanks, and then now you're in. Just show up and be social and leave on a high note by repeating her name again and thanking her as you leave. Okay, step 2 is to build trust and rapport without hitting on anyone. This is crucial. A lot of these women are used to being hit on, and many of them are also in relationships, or at least they say they are. So you want to engage without any romantic pressure at first. Just talk, ask questions, more casual conversation with the staff. If they ask about you, that's your opportunity to layer in little details about your life that imply your status. You don't need to brag. Just mention the kind of work you do, places you've traveled, interesting hobbies, or something adventurous that you've done or are doing soon. The key is to be fun and socially engaging. Talk to the other customers, joke around with the bartender, bring in a friend or two. once in a while and introduce them to the staff. You're just building social capital here. Women are drawn to men who other people like being around. All right, step 3 is please like this video and subscribe to support the channel. But seriously, it does help a lot. So please, if you're finding this video helpful, drop a comment or a like so YouTube pushes the video and it can reach more guys like you. Okay, being serious again, step 3 is to flirt subtly and test interest. Once you've built that comfort, it's time to throw in a little flirtation, but you have to be subtle. One line I like to use is simply asking her if it's hard dealing with the creepy guys that hit on her all night. And chances are she'll probably say yes. And if she does, then you can say something flattering like, yeah, I bet it is tough, but it's kind of hard to blame them, right? And this is just a super subtle way to show attraction and test her response. It's light, flirty, and flattering, and most importantly, it lets you read her reaction. If she smiles, says thank you, and keeps talking to you, man, that's a green light. And I've found success by pointing out the fact that these women deal with creepy guys, I think because when you acknowledge that other men are being creepy, you're kind of separating yourself from them and implying that you're self-aware, but I don't know for sure, that's just my hypothesis. Moving on to step 4, you need to ask her out casually and confidently. By now, you should have built some trust and rapport. You've shared stories that imply your elevated social status. You've been social and fun, respectful, and subtly flirtatious. So now you can take your shot, but you still want to keep it casual. So you could try something like asking her if she's closing the bar. If she says no, then ask her if you can buy her a drink after her shift. I've seen this work so many times. The girl gets off work, comes around to the front of the bar, sits down, and has a drink with the regular. And they chat and they laugh and then they exchange numbers. And before you know it, they're seeing each other. This strategy works really well because you're meeting her on her grounds. You're not going right for the number or asking her out to dinner. You're only asking her to join you on the other side of the bar, which is totally normal and something that bar staff do with customers all the time. All right, now step 5 happens kind of naturally, and that's just leveraging mate choice copying. So once you've connected with one of the staff, even if it's just like playful flirtation or going on one date, the other girls start to take notice. This taps into something called mate choice copying. It's a psychological phenomenon where women become more attracted to a man simply because they see that other women are attracted to him. I've seen this play out not just in bars, but in friend groups, social circles, everywhere. And once a guy connects with one girl, all of a sudden, 3 other women are interested. And it's not just the staff that will be interested, female patrons will take notice too. So if they see the bartender being flirty with you, it signals that you've got something desirable. And the same works in reverse, right? So if you're chatting up another female patron at the bar, the bartenders are going to notice and become interested. It works both ways. I've seen guys who become regulars and then repeatedly pull staff and patrons over the span of multiple years. Think about it. Bars and restaurants generally have high staff turnover. So you can expect that the staff will be different 6 months, 12 months, 18 months down the road. And then what happens? Well, the new girl shows up, gets to know you. She hears about how you used to date one of the other girls that no longer works there, and now she's interested. I met some real dogs over the years who would do this at multiple bars simultaneously. So on Mondays, they would go to bar A. On Wednesdays, they would go to bar B. They would build their entire approach to dating around this strategy and cleanup. And no, I'm not saying that's what you should do. I'm not even saying that women who work in bars are desirable life partners. Some of them are, some of them aren't. Some of them are working part-time and have real careers, or they're in school. Some of them are forever party girls that have no ambition. It's up for you to figure that part out. All I'm doing is sharing a solid approach to dating attractive women. And I want to emphasize again that you don't want to be the guy coming in and getting drunk all the time. You are there for a couple drinks max, maybe some dinner, make an impression, and then get out. Be social, be subtle, and play the long game. You're not going in to chase, you are going in to attract. If you've got your life together and you learn how to position yourself properly, I promise you this can be a highly effective way to attract beautiful women on a regular basis. Now, gentlemen, don't leave your boy hanging. Please drop a comment. Let me know if you have any questions or concerns with the strategy. My name is KJ Harlow, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.